Bonjour, Émilie Talpin, OM System Ambassador in the US. Welcome back to the channel. Today it's video number 3 to give you tips to improve your bird photography, and we are going to talk about our drive mode. So let's get started. I just came back from the biggest week, which was such an amazing festival. I've met a lot of you out there and it was so fun. So thank you so much if you are one of the people who stopped by and took the time to talk, because yes, there was so much to see. So I really appreciate it. And I hope you had a great time over there. If you haven't been to the Biggest Week Festival in Ohio, you really have to go. It is such an experience, and the warblers, oh my God, they're right there at eye level. It is just a fantastic place. And so I decided that this whole month of May, I would do videos on how to improve your bird photography. So my first video was all about background. My second video was all about being at eye level. My third video actually was an interview with Jennifer Lee Warner, and she gave you one of her tips about shutter speed. And so my third tip, I thought, will be about the drive mode. I don't think we talk about the drive mode enough, and I had a couple of people who reached out and seemed to be a bit confused about drive mode. So I thought that's the right time to talk about it. So your drive mode, if you switch on your camera right now and you click on the OK here, that will send you to your control panel, and the drive mode is right here. And you have a couple of options, actually a lot of options on your OM system camera. So here I'm with the OM1 Mark II, and the first option I have is the single mode. So it's single frame. That basically is self-explanatory. You take one photo. And some people were confused about, I don't understand why all of a sudden my camera is taking multiple images. Well, if that's your case, if you're saying, I have multiple images, that's not what I want. Most photographers are just going to use the single frame, especially if you are doing landscape. Then you also have the option to be on silent mode. So you take one photo and you're not going to hear anything. When I do wildlife, that's what I use. I use the silence mode because I don't want that click. Yes, it's very satisfactory to hear a click, but animals don't really like to hear noises. So I like to have that option to be complete silence. So that's usually what I would go for. But I rarely shoot in single frame. I like to do sequentials. So that's my option 3 and 4. You have sequential, or you have sequential and silent mode. So here your camera will take up to 20 frames. You get a lot of frames. 20 frames, that's a lot, right? Most of the time that's enough, because I don't want to have to go through too many photos. And I know that for what I will shoot, it will be okay. But to be honest, sometimes sequential is not enough. And I mean, we have those cards that can take so many photos. All you have to do is erase them if you don't want them, right? So why bother? Why not taking more shots? And that's where SH1 and SH2 come into play. For disclosure, SH1 I don't use very often. Why? Because you can go up to 120 frame, but it does not keep the focus. So my subject might be moving towards me or not be on the same plane. It's not gonna work. That's why I always use SH2, because then my focus, my exposure, my white balance, they are not locked. They are locked if I use SH1, but not in SH2. So that to me is a big advantage when my subject is moving, when the conditions are changing. That's why SH2 is my go-to. And then in SH2, you don't have 120 frames per second, you have 50 frames per second. That's your max. So less images, but I mean, 50 frame per second is huge. So it's not going to be a problem. And why it's useful is compared to, for example, sequential, is that you will have more choices, especially when you have a bird in flight. Like let's imagine if you have an osprey and it's fishing, it's hovering. Well, here it's going to take up to 50 frames per second, and I can decide, yeah, no, that's not the angle that I want. That's not the position of the wing is not correct. I don't like this position, and bam, that's the position I want. It just gives me more options, right? And that's what we want. We want to have the perfect composition. And here to me, with this osprey, I want the wings to be like this. It looks like kind of an album cover. I like it. It's more pleasing image than this image or all those other images that I showed you. And so I can pick and choose when I'm home and decide which one is going to be the keeper. Now, there is also an other mode that is such a huge advantage on your OM system camera, and it's Pro Capture. Pro Capture is like a little miracle. It's a time machine. So let's imagine that you have a bird, like this protonotary warbler. It's so hard to say, I can never say this name. Well, this bird was nesting and was going in and out of a pole. It is so hard to just stay there. And then if you are in HH2, you keep on, taking photos, but your buffer is going to fill. Even if the buffer has been improved on the OM1 Mark II, now it's doubled, which is plenty, but still, if your bird is taking a while to come in and out of the nest, then you are going to have issues. That is when you want to use the Pro Capture. Because what Pro Capture does is basically allowing you to start taking pictures. So I'm going to half press my shutter. It's going to keep taking pictures until I have the shot. The bird is flying. I'm going to fully press, and it's going to tell my camera that yes, we got the shot, so you can stop. And then it will have saved a bunch of images before you realize that you have the shot and after. So then you know that you did not miss the shot. So like I said, it's a bit like going back to the future. You have, all your past photos, they are saved, and it's just magic. There are no other ways to describe what Pro Capture is, truly. And you have different mode for Pro Capture. That should be a whole video in itself. And actually, OM System did a live a few weeks ago, so I'm going to put it right here if you want to go and check. It's all about Pro Capture, which one of the Pro Capture you should use. It's a great live. So that's it for this video. I hope it was useful. Let me know in the comments what is your go-to drive mode, or do you have a go-to drive mode? I feel like I'm changing all the time. So for me, it would be a very hard question to answer. But I hope this was helpful, especially for those of you who still have some issues understanding what drive mode is. And if you're telling me that you have multiple images and you only want one, well, now you know how to change this, and you know how to use the proper drive mode, or at least the one that you think will give you the best results. And I want to thank you again for all your support. If you are not a subscriber, well, it's never too late. Click on the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when my videos are coming out. You can also click the like button. That will help my video move forward on the YouTube world. And again, thank you so much for all your support. I cannot wait to see you next week. And actually, this Thursday, I'm going to do a quick video reviewing the newer light that I've showcased a few weeks ago. And I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away one of the newer lights. So I'll do a special video on Thursday for you, and you will get the chance to win the newer light, because I'm getting really close to 9,000 subscribers. So once I hit 9,000 subscribers, then you'll be able to win this fantastic light, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's a great light. So see you very soon. Have a good weekend. Au revoir.